Good afternoon. We'll now start. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There'll be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your face in the video. Reminder after the pep talk is to take the online learning evaluation test exercise or OLETE for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I will be placing the link in the chat box. Another reminder, please, obtaining 25 OLETE certificates would entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO host on medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll be placing the link to the OLETE in the chat box already. Okay. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk: core course, health disorder, and health issue courses. I have so far delivered at least 240 pep talks from May 15, 2021. That's the day that we started with the pep talk to May 9, 2026. That's a period of 5 years, every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. without fail. And then from May 16, 2026 onwards, we have started with the year number 6. How long the pep talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. My pep talk today is entitled Deposit Prior to Treatment and Hospitalization. Is it legal or ethical? The empowerment objective is for lay people to have a basic understanding on deposit prior to treatment and hospitalization, whether it's legal or ethical in their health management. So this particular topic will be under the module of navigating healthcare services. The contents of this particular pep talk this afternoon will be number 1, what is a deposit before a service is availed? So what are the main purposes of a deposit? What are some processes involved in a deposit? How is a deposit being used in the hospital and medical industry? What is the difference between legal and ethical? Is it legal, ethical to require patients to pay a deposit prior to treatment, prior to hospitalization? And what are the advice on avoiding the issues and problems of deposit when availing of medical services? Disclaimer, the R.O. Hawson Pep Talk contains the R.O. Hawson's thoughts, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations, or TPORs, culled from these personal experiences as well as from the writings of other professionals. Let's start with the definition of what is a deposit before a service is availed. A deposit before a service is availed is often called an advance deposit or booking deposit or upfront payment. So it's defined as a partial or sometimes even a full sum of money paid by a customer to a service provider before the work begins or the service is delivered. So it can occur in any type of industry, medical as well as manufacturing industries, as well as any other business for that matter. So what are the main purposes of a main purposes of a deposit? Number one, to secure the booking reservation. So once you have this deposit, you guarantee your spot is guaranteed, time slot, order, especially for the limited availability or high demand services. Number two purpose will be to show commitment. It confirms your intent to proceed, reducing the risk of last minute cancellations that would cost the provider time and income. Number three, the deposit will cover the initial costs, helps the provider buy materials, prepare tools, and allocate staff resources before starting. The other reason, the purpose will be to reduce financial risk. It protects the provider of the services from non-payment of the customers once work is completed. So in other words, the main objective is to avoid bankruptcy of the service provider. So essentially, these are the main purposes of a deposit. It can occur, as I said, it occur in hospital industries, non-medical industries. And what are some of the processes involved in a deposit? So the amount. So usually they dictate the amount, whether it's full or partial, but usually it says a percentage, example, 20 to 50% of the total fee, sometimes even a fixed flat rate. Okay. Now, refund policy also, it may be sometimes it may be refundable, partially refundable, and non-refundable. So this must be agreed upon in advance between the customers and the service providers. Final settlement. If there's a deposit, the remaining balance is typically paid when the service is completed or delivered. Essentially, these are the three processes involved. There's amount of money that will be paid, and then there could be some refund or no refund, and then if there is a initial payment, the incomplete payment, then there will be a final settlement. How is a deposit being used in a hospital or medical industry? In private hospitals, there is always a call for deposit prior to being accepted for hospitalization. Palaging meron yan. In some instances, in a private setting, I repeat, private setting ito. Private setting, there's a call for deposit prior to a procedure, even diagnostic or treatment. So, pwede doon sa bago ma-hospitalize or may gagawin isang procedure na mamahalin pero outpatient lang. Sometimes they ask the patient to make a deposit or may treatment like yung mga sophisticated na gamutan. They ask you to deposit, let's say mga cardiac surgery, they'll ask you a deposit. Okay, ganon. So why deposit is required by the private hospitals? The main reason is to avoid the financial losses, essentially to avoid bankruptcy of the private hospitals. When and why deposit is required for certain procedures, when the expensive materials are to be used, and to ensure that the procedure is done as agreed upon with the patients. So kung may gagamitin mamahalin ng materials, then they will ask for deposit pag para this is to avoid the financial losses if not done. Baka di magawa, di matuloy at binili ng hospitals o yung mga doktor, yung clinic, no? So if not paid adequately and procedure is canceled. So this is to avoid these circumstances. Okay? So nabili at hindi natuloy, so there will be some losses from these service providers. Okay. So the hospital and medical industry consists of hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians. So ito yung mga three areas that deposits might be involved. No? These hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians offer services to the community. Services offered entail operating costs. Palaging may operating cost ito. These hospitals, clinics, practicing physicians ensure that they don't go bankrupt so that they can continue to offer services to the community. And to ensure financial sustainability, these hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians have service and operating charges to be paid by the private customer patients in the private setting. So I'm emphasizing the private setting. To ensure financial sustainability, yung sa government naman, the government hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians who are not, they are not allowed to have service operating charges. Okay. So, but these are being financed by the government money from taxes, usually from taxes. Okay. So, walang charge, walang deposit ito. Okay. So, but they have operating expenses which must be recouped, okay, para hindi mabankrupt din, no? So in the private setting, to avoid bankruptcy and of course to earn and to have revenues for the private hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians have the leeway and usually practice requiring deposit from private customer patients. So they want to earn as well as to reduce their financial risk. So they use the deposit to protect themselves from non-payment once work is completed. Thus, deposits are seen in private settings, private hospitals, private clinics, and private physicians in private practice. Deposits are not allowed in government hospitals, government clinics, and among government physicians practicing in government hospitals and clinics. But in a private setting, deposits can be required before a procedure. As I said, procedures such as diagnostic or therapeutic procedure, no, kahit na hindi pa admitted, or before admission to a hospital. Okay, this is more common. I-admit ng pasyente sa isang hospital, may deposit. Yung mga diagnostic procedure, therapeutic procedures, yung mga mamahalin, they usually require some deposit. Yung mga mumurahin lang, kayang-kaya, na run of the mill, pwedeng wala ng deposit. So deposits are not legally permitted in government hospitals and medical industry. But deposits are allowed in private hospital and medical industries, but with caveats, may mga laws dyan, no? So the question is it legal or ethical for the private hospitals to require deposits, the private industry, medical industry? So let's talk about the difference between legal and ethical. Legal means rules, statutes, regulations written and enforced by a government authority like the government, courts, and official bodies. It defines what you must do and must not do. So breaking it will lead to formal penalties like fines, lawsuits, and imprisonment. So yun ang legal. Ethical naman refers to principles of being right and wrong based on values, morality, fairness, social norms, and professional standards. So it guides you what should or should not do in contrast to what you must or must not do sa legal. Dito naman, what you should or should not do. And violating it usually lead to loss of trust, reputational damage, professional consequences, but not legal punishment. Okay? So legal, in short, is what you are allowed to do, and ethical is what you ought to do. Okay? What you are allowed and must do, and ethical is what you ought to do. So the question is it legal and ethical for private hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians to require deposit before treatment and before hospitalizations? So the short answer is it depends entirely on the type of case. So it's unethical and illegal if required for emergency and serious cases. It is ethically acceptable and legal for elective and non-urgent care. So pag emergency, pag diniman kayo sa private hospital na ng deposit, it could be considered unethical and illegal kasi there's a law for this. Here is the law. There's an anti-hospital deposit law which okay. So dito siya sabi sa law nito, for emergency and serious cases, it is illegal to demand a deposit. Dapat gamutin na kaagad yung doctor sa private hospital. So, but kung di naman siya emergency, elective lang siya, then it's legal and ethically acceptable to demand a deposit by the private hospitals. So when it is unethical or illegal, these are the circumstances. Emergency and serious cases. Any condition with immediate risk for death, permanent disability, or harm like stroke, trauma, severe bleeding, active labor, heart attack. So unethical and illegal na mag-demand ng deposit. And then, as a rule, hospitals, clinics, physicians cannot demand or request or accept a deposit or advance payment as a prerequisite for admission, stabilization, and life-saving care. Ethical reasons, so pag ginawa nito ng hospitals, it violates the core medical principles, which is do good, beneficence, non-maleficence, do no harm, respect for human life, and justice. So these are the core principles in medicine. So we always want to do good, and we don't like to do harm, and then we respect the human life, and then we want to give justice to the patients. Money cannot override the duty to prevent death and disability. Dapat secondary lang yung money. So legal penalty, if it's violated, so imprisonment, heavy fines, and professional sanctions on the part of the culprit. So it is ethical and legal naman. So if the cases are in non-emergency, elective, or non-urgent, example, ini-schedule yung operation, the procedures, the check-up, cosmetic surgery, then routine admissions, and non-life-threatening treatments. So in such cases, pwedeng mag-demand ng deposit yung hospitals, clinics, and practicing physicians. So providers may require deposit or down payment as a contractual term provided as the costs are clearly disclosed in advance. Dapat malaman ng pasyente, ang customers, how much it will cost, huwag itatago. And then deposit is credited to the final bill if it's partial payment muna. Then the terms are fair and not exploitative. Huwag sobrang mahal naman. No? So ethical justifications, private facilities have the business costs Kaya sila nag-charge, nag-require the deposit. They want to reduce the no-shows, hindi sumisipot, and then they want to secure the resources. So patient can choose another provider if the term do not suit them. Pwede naman silang pumili kung ayaw nila yung sa isang facility that demand a deposit, no? Ano. All private hospitals can require deposits prior to treatment and prior to hospitalization, except for one situation. Patient has an emergency condition that needs to be treated and admitted right away, and no deposit should be demanded prior to treatment and hospitalization. And all private clinics can require deposits prior to treatment, except for one situation. Patient has an emergency condition that needs to be treated right away, and no deposit should be demanded prior to treatment. Ang kaibahan lang between this one and this one is treatment, yung isa naman is prior to hospitalizations. And then all private hospitals, this one is physicians naman. All private physicians can require deposits prior to treatment. Okay, again, except for one situation, kung emergency, they cannot require a deposit, yung mga doktor, no? Kahit na di hospitalized, basta yung gagamutin, pag emergency, dapat gamutin. No? So, thus it is legal to require deposits as seen in the private setting. Private hospitals, clinics, and physicians in private practice, except in one situation. Basta palaging tandaan na emergency condition that needs to be treated right away and no deposit should be demanded prior to treatment and hospitalization. So the latter is illegal and is punishable by law, and the latter is also illegal as well as unethical. So key ethical principles on deposit. Primary duty kasi ng mga doktor in medicine, patient's welfare comes before profit, especially in critical situations. Kahit na hindi critical, palaging yung patient's welfare muna. Okay. Boundary line, so there should be no delay or denial of care due to inability to pay. So billing can follow after stabilization. Okay. No such, we have to accept the reality. There's no such thing as free care in private setting because the hospitals still have the right to collect payment later, just not an upfront as a condition for emergency treatment. So kahit na walang deposit, eventually, meron pa rin bill, so which the hospital can collect and which the patients will have to pay. Emergency, kung serious situation, no deposit allowed. So care first, elective scheduled operations or procedure admission, deposit are allowed, but dapat fair at hindi masyadong exploitative yung mga demand. Then the rule, care before payment in life and death situations. So what are the advice on avoiding the issues and problems of deposit when availing of medical services? So the issues and problems of deposit are related to the financial resources of the patients and the relatives, and the selection of hospitals, clinics, and physicians. More important to know is how much the total medical cost will be. So dapat alamin mo na yon how much it will cost. The deposit issue is secondary. Kung kaya ng pasyente yung gastos ng isang hospital, then wala nang issue na yung deposit. Because yung deposit pwedeng i-defer mo na, but eventually they have to pay. So if one cannot afford the total medical cost or price of a hospital, clinic, or a physician, shift to an alternative where one can afford. Remember, even with no deposit in emergency and serious cases, one still has to pay the eventual or financial medical costs. I repeat, nothing is free in private setting. So go to a government hospital or clinic when you want to avoid paying deposit, as there is no deposit there. It's illegal to have deposit in government hospitals and government clinics. Deposit is legal and ethical in private setting as long as the RA 10932, the so-called anti-hospital deposit law, is not violated. Hospitals, clinics, and physicians cannot demand, request, or accept a deposit or advance payment as a prerequisite for admission, stabilization, or life-saving care in patients with emergency and serious cases, and any condition with immediate risk for death, permanent disability, or harm, such as stroke, trauma, severe bleeding, active labor, heart attack. So hindi lang yung risk for death, pero yung mga risk for permanent disability, saka yung severe diseases like stroke, trauma, kailangan walang deposit. So kung illegal ginawa ng hospitals, there will be imprisonment, heavy fines, and professional sanctions. Okay. So here's a clear practical patient's right checklist specifically for the Philippines, aligned with the RA anti-hospital deposit law and medical ethics. So this is a checklist that we usually follow. So when it is legal and unethical, so it applies to all emergency, life-threatening, and serious conditions. No deposit, no advance payment can be asked, demanded, or accepted before admission, before examination. Pag-examine, let's say, punta sa emergency room, hindi pwedeng ini-examine ng doktor yung pasyente. No? So, or treatment. So, care must start immediately. Pag emergency, walang pag-usapan ng deposit, no? Gamutin kagad. Okay? So, no waiting for payment, no clearance, no paperwork. So, yung care should includes the following, hindi lang operasyon, hindi lang admission, it includes stabilization of the vital signs, conditions of the patient, bigyan ng first aid, surgery, kung kailangang operahan, right away, medicine, kung masakit na, okay, or let's say that needs emergency medicine for stroke or cardiac arrest, ganon, and all services needed to prevent death and permanent harm. So even if you have no money, no insurance, and cannot pay later, care cannot be denied or delayed. Okay. Examples of covered cases. Heart attack, pag may heart attack kayo, pumasok kayo emergency room, pag stroke, severe injury, difficulty in breathing, severe bleeding, poisoning, active labor, high fever with convulsions, severe infections, and any conditions labeled as emergency by a doctor, covered kayo rito. No? Dapat walang deposit na will be demanded. Kailangan care must start immediately. Stabilization, first aid, and then definitive treatment kung kailangan. So when is it allowed and ethical? Applies to non-emergency, ethical, and scheduled care. Allowed means ethical for the deposit. So deposit down payment may be required only if the procedure is planned and not urgent. The cost and terms must be fully explained and written down in advance. So dapat in-explain ng hospital, the doctor, the clinics, okay, how much, and then to any arrangement. So the deposit counts towards your final bill, not an extra bill. Kasama dun sa initial, sa total bill ninyo. And then you are free to refuse or choose another facility, okay, and provider. So examples of allowed cases, dapat pwedeng ma-charge, ma-demand kayong deposit, routine checkup, scheduled operations, elective siya, cosmetic procedures, non-urgent laboratory tests, and chronic diseases follow-ups that do not pose immediate risk. So what to do if your rights are violated? Ask in writing. Request a written reason why care is being delayed or denied. Pwede niyo i-question yung doktor in hospital, bakit hindi nyo ginawa ito? This is an emergency, nagdidemand kayo ng deposit. Then document the details, note the date, the time, the name of the staff, who said that kailangan mag-deposit, tandaan kunin yung pangalan, no? And what was said and done. Then report immediately to the Department of Health and then or the Philippine Medical Association, okay? And the hospital patient care office sa hospital, dapat meron yan. So, your legal protection is that the violators will face the fine, license suspension of the hospital, as well as the doctors who are, when found guilty, and even imprisonment of those violators. So summary and takeaway, I have discussed the following. What is a deposit before a service is availed? How is a deposit being used in medical industry? And what is the difference between legal and ethical? Then is it legal and ethical to require patients to pay a deposit prior to treatment, prior to hospitalization? And then what are the advice on avoiding the issues and problems of deposit while availing of the medical service? So takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on deposit prior to treatment and hospitalization. Legal, is it legal or ethical? Knowledge is power, it gives power. Use the 4Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions on this topic, deposit prior to treatment and hospitalization, legal or ethical, as part of your health management. So with that, I end my pep talk today. I hope I have empowered you to have a basic understanding of deposit prior to treatment, hospitalization, whether it's legal or ethical, in your health management. So before we go to the Q&A portion, reminder after the pep talk is to take the Colette for Mastery of Learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this. I have placed the link in the chat box already. And then another reminder, obtaining 25 Colette certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO hospital medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request will be to type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, the floor is now open for questions, comments, suggestions, sharing of experiences, as well as consultations. Okay. Okay. Anybody who has problems with deposits before? Wala naman. Kaya-kaya ang bayaran. Okay. Wala kayong problema sa deposits. Wala kayong problema sa emergency room na nagre-require ng deposit. Very good. So kung wala, di very good. No? So, but we have heard of a lot of yung mga kaso na kaya ko di-discuss itong topic nito because tiniming ko lang doon sa nag-viral na storya ng sa Facebook, no? Patient got a stroke and then the wife brought the patient to a hospital. So ang ina-estimate sa kanya kasi kailangan operahan. So 4 million daw ang gagastusin. No, hindi kaya. So yung pasyente nagtanong, kaya yung doktor yata, may somebody suggested you transfer to another hospital, 1 million. naman, ang requirement, so ni-require na 1 million deposit ni rin kaya, no? So they decided to stay in the hospital and doon siya namatay, no? Okay. So hindi niya kaya yung mga deposit, no? Okay. So ayun. Yan ang naging nag-viral last time, a month ago, no? Okay. So I think na-settle na yun, pero just we have to learn from it, no? Okay. So any questions? Anybody who wants to share their experiences? So as part of your preparedness plan, we don't know kailan tayo magkakasakit. Di ba? Tama? Hindi rin natin alam kung ganong kagrabe ang magiging sakit natin. Let's say kung na-aksidente tayo, mulubha, no? O kaya pag hindi naman aksidente, yung mga sakit na acute, let's say abdominal pain, stroke, heart attack, no? So, last time we talked about which hospital to go to, di ba? Pag emergency, usually, ang unang priority, yung pinakamalapit, no? Pero bago kayo mag-decide na pumunta doon, pinakamalapit, no? Make sure kakayanin niyo yung mga financial obligations, no? Okay. So may malapit ng isang private hospitals, kaya lang medyo mahal. Pag nagsagupa kayo, pumasok kayo doon, siguradong gagamatin nga kayo. They won't demand deposit, pero you are trapped with all the expenses. No? Okay. So eventually, babayaran pa rin ninyo. No? Okay. So make a decision kung really pupunta kayo doon o you choose another hospital na you can afford. Na? Okay. So kung di nyo kaya kung yan ang tanong ko nga rin. Kung minsan wala naman tayong dalang deposit na pera para deposit, di ba? Okay. So anong gagawin niyo? You just have to talk to the hospital. Pwede bang tsaka na lang, promissory note kung papayag sila. Okay. But show them that that you are qualified to pay them naman. Sabihin mo na lang. No? Okay. Okay.
Dok, dito po sa amin sa Batangas City, naalala ko dun sa biyanan ko, nung dinala namin sa ER, nung chinek po nung doktor, ano po, yung stroke.
Oo.
Ngayon, sinabihan po kami na kailangan dalhin sa ICU.
Oo.
Siyempre po ako, manugang lang ako, yung isang kapatid na panganay na medyo may edad na hindi siya makapag-decide kasi wala kaming dalang pera. Pero
Oo.
yun nga po ang sinasabi ng doktor doon kasi kailangan ano na yung biyenan ko kasi baka po kasi may edad na nasa 90 plus baka po doon pa abutin. So hindi naman po nga sila naghingi ng deposit. Pero
Oo.
kinabukasan, inaano na po kami, tawag dito,
Partial payment.
ina-update na po kami kung magkano
Oo.
yung, yung bill.
Oo.
Kailangan po, kalahati ng kalahati bawat araw. Halimbawa, 60,000 na nga yung kinabukasan, dapat 30,000 may ibigay na kami kinabukasan. Basta
Oo.
po siya nadagdag, kailangan po araw-araw halos ano kami sa kanila ng pera,
Yeah.
magdadala.
Okay.
Eh, ayun po, umabot yata kami sa bill na 200 plus. Gawa nga po ilang araw dun si inay. Pero naiuwi na rin naman po namin pagkatapos. Kaso nga po, yun nga po, medyo, pag po talagang walang pera, yun naman po, tsaka yun nga po, sabi niyo, Dok, yun yung pinakamalapit dito sa amin. Kaso,
Yeah.
medyo may kamahalan nga doon sa ano nyo. Kaso, inano pa rin naman po namin kasi para po ma-survive si inay.
Okay.
Parang kumbaga, nawala kami ng choice na maghanap ng ibang ospital.
Yeah.
Kasi yun
Good.
na yung pinakang malapit.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So, okay. may dadagdag ko because of your narration, yung sharing mo. In a way, we can say that's it's a form of deposit na rin na pinapasok mo na kayo no, without asking you to make a down payment bago kayo i-admit. Pero nung nasa ICU na siya, meron na siyang mga gastos, no? Mga bill na, no? So
Opo.
they will ask you to pay, no? Kahit na konti-konti. Parang deposit na rin yun kasi deposit for the next day, di ba?
Opo, Dok. Kasi next day talagang meron na agad
May
kayo.
gastos na naman yan habang
Mhm.
nasa ICU, di ba? So parang deposit na rin yun, di ba?
Opo, opo.
Okay. And then, the other lesson, yung perception ko dito, palagi kong iniisip yun eh. Kasi kung talagang, let's say, kung talagang emergency na emergency, with yung by our common definition of emergency, tatakbo ka ba dun sa isang hospital na pinakamalapit, pero mahal, na mahal. No? Kasi ang takot mo, baka maubusan maubusan tayo ng oras, di ba? Kaya gusto natin tumakbo doon sa pinakamalapit,
Wala.
no? Ako, ang feeling ko, I might be wrong, pero ako personally, let's say ako I live in Makati, di ba? Okay. So pag nagkaroon ako ng let's say stroke o ano, ang base ko, ang pinaka-hospital ko is Manila Doctors, no? Okay. So pero may mga malalapit na hospital dito sa Makati like Makati Medical, St. Luke's, no? Okay. So so ang tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, should I tell my relatives to bring me to this hospital? Na, number one, of course, mas mahal talaga yung itong sinasabi kong hospital. Number two, wala akong masyadong kilala. Na, okay. So number three, iniisip ko rin, binabalance ko yung baka maabutan ako kasi baka ma-traffic, pupunta ko pa sa mga doctors. No? Okay, ganon. No? Ako ang tendency ko to I might be wrong ha, pero sabi ko, pipiliin ko pa rin, padali na lang nila ako either sa Manila Doctors na lang. Okay? So, nobody can predict naman kung kailan tayo kukunin, di ba? So, okay. So, ang pinaka-importante yung bayaran eh. No? Talagang walang ligtas doon eh, di ba? Okay. So pag ako ay nagkasakit, baka Manila Doctors or PJs ang punta ko, not in these big hospitals na ang mahal-mahal. No? Okay. So, okay. Just a food for thought. Basta wag lang kasi pag sinabi yung emergency, talagang yung ano, may time pa to go to other hospitals. No? Okay. Okay. Yung cost talaga hindi mo ma-avoid talaga eh, no? Hindi ka makakatakas dun sa gastos. Talagang kahit na walang deposit, eventually magbabayad ka pa rin.
Nagagawa naman po ng paraan, Dok. Kasi po,
Okay,
po yung buhay.
pwede rin magagawa ng paraan, kaya lang mahal pa rin, di ba?
Opo.
Ah, okay. Any more? Anybody wants to share their experience? Michelle?
Tanong ko lang, Doc.
Jo.
Pag sinabi po bang emergency, halimbawa stroke o heart attack, gaano pa ang leeway and time niyan
Di nga natin,
para ma-save pa siya?
mahirap sabihin. Mahirap sabihin, lalo na kung di kayo doktor, no? Okay. Kung ano yung, ilang minuto pang kailangan ninyo, no? Even for the
For
doctors,
travel time, ganyan.
may traffic pa nga, no? Even for doctors, ganun din, mahirap sabihin, no? Okay. So,
Papa.
kaya ako, I usually, I don't know kung ano, parang pag des, parang destined to ano na, talagang oras mo na, talagang ano mo na, di ba?
Okay, Doc.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Basta
Yun na
yung
yun.
yung gastos ang ano yung pinakamalaking problema ngayon no?
Oo nga po eh. Para makapunta sa medyo murang-murang ospital,
Yeah,
gaano pa ba, 'di ba? Minsan, yun
yeah,
ang inaano, yung time and money.
yeah, yeah. Ako, I would put priority more on ano, basta wag lang 2 hours, no? Kung konting diferensya lang, puntahan mo na lang yung mas malayo ng konti, pero yung kaya mo, no?
Kaya,
Yeah.
oo.
Oh,
Affordable. Mhm.
affordable, saka yung may kilala ka, ganon, no? May trusted
Mhm.
na
Mhm.
doctors, ganon, no?
Mm. Okay,
Okay?
Doc. Papa.
Okay. Okay. Ano pa? Anybody who have sino bang newcomers dito? Manet, may tanong ka, Manet de la Cruz? Nice to see you again. Unmute. Hindi kita naririnig. Unmute. Unmute. Kung nagsasalita ka, hindi ka namin naririnig. Tanggalin mo yung ano, unmute. Wala. Nakamute ka eh. Hindi ka namin naririnig. Yan, yan. Go.
Yan na po, Doc.
Kumusta ka na?
Okay naman po, Doc. Minsan po kasi, Doc, busy, kaya hindi ako minsan makaano, Doc, sa meeting niyo.
Okay. So, anong experience mo kahit na hindi emergency,
Wala po akong
walang
experience.
deposit, di ba?
Wala, Doc. Wala pa po akong experience na ganun, Doc.
Hindi, may experience ka na. Pumasok ka
Ah,
hindi kita ni-require
ako.
na deposit, di ba?
Nga po, Doc.
Ah, Di ba?
Yeah, Doc.
Pag let's say, kung operahan kita, o kahit na naka-schedule, no?
Ah,
May nagtatanong, kailangan ba mag-down payment? Ganon.
Ayaw po, Doc.
Okay, so sa akin hindi, no? Pero may mga doctors na naghihingi ng down payment. Baka
Opo, Doc.
walang tiwala sa inyo, baka takbuhin daw kayo, takbuhin niyo sila. No? Ako hindi, no? Okay. So, sisingil na lang ako after
Yes,
the
Doc.
operation. No?
Napautang mo pa kami ilang araw.
May mga doctor gano'n, ha? That's why kasama sa topic ko rito. May mga doctors, but they're allowed, no? They're allowed, no? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, lalo na yung mga, let's say, mga heart surgery, di ba? Mamahalin, no? Mga ganon. Sasabihin sa inyo, mag-down muna kayo. Di ba? Okay. So, anything else? Michelle Ecano. Michelle, kumusta ka na? Bago si Michelle. Thank you for attending. Unmute. Kumusta kayo? Unmute. Unmute. Yan. Unmute. Nakamute ka pa eh. Unmute. Yung wala. Unmute. Mahirap ba ang mute? Hindi mo ma-unmute? Hindi ka namin maririnig. Belet, ikaw, yan, sige. Michelle, ano?
Okay na.
Meron kang tanong? Meron kang
Wala po,
isi-share?
Doc.
Meron ka
Hindi pa naman
isi-share?
po ako na, hindi pa naman po ako Dok na hospital. Eh, wala pa po akong sa hospital.
Okay. So, tandaan mo na lang kung sakali, sana hindi ka ma-hospital, pero in the future, kung nagpapa-hospital ka, yan ang mga challenges mo. Kung kailangan mag-deposit, no? Kaya maghanda-handa ka na rin ng konting pondo para kung sakali kailangan maghingi sila ng deposit. No? Okay.
Okay. Thank you po, Dok, pag-invite.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Doc. Hi, Doc
Hi.
Ray.
Yeah,
Ano
May.
po, noong
Meron.
November 19 po, di ba hiningan po ako sa PGH ng down? Wala pa po kasing RA bill po nun, no?
Down payment is down payment. Yan, parang deposit na rin yung down payment. No?
Opo.
So, pwede naman sila kasi elective sa iyo di ba? Pwede sila mag-require ng deposit. Ano question mo? Dahil PGH?
Opo. Di ba public po yun?
Pumasok ka, ang government hospital has dalawang division. May charity na service. Yung isa naman sa pay or private. No? So, pumasok ka sa private. Di ba?
Ganun pala po
So,
yun.
pwede sila mag-bill. Usually, nagre-require sila. No?
Okay po.
Okay?
Thank you po,
So,
Doc.
pag sinabi kong government hospitals, ay yung di pwedeng mag-require, mag-demand ng deposit, yung mga sa charity. Sa charity. Okay.
Yung mga white card daw po, no?
Hindi, yeah, baka white, blue. Hindi ko
Opo. Kasi yung blue card po, yung daw yung may
Sa
bayad, may
private?
pay. Opo, may bayad
Okay.
daw.
Okay. Hindi ko alam yun. Baka ano.
Sinabi lang po ng babae dun kasi pinapaano ko po. Kaya sabi, ay, blue card ka, hindi ka pwede, white dapat, sabing gano'n.
Okay. So, pag white card, baka yung charity, no?
Opo, charity nga po.
Okay.
Okay po. Thank you po, Doc.
Okay. So, kung kahit na mag-deposit kayo, makukuha naman yung, marirefund naman kayo kung sakaling sumobra. Diba?
Opo, deducted po dun sa final bill.
Okay. So,
Thank you po.
yeah. Okay. So, any more concerns? Sharing of experiences? Belet, anything? Belet?
Wala na po.
Ha?
Wala na po.
Wala na. Okay. So, kung wala na, it's already 3 o'clock. We'll call it a day. No? We'll see each other again next week. No?
Salamat po, Doc.
Sige.
Salamat po, Doc.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Doc.
Thank you po, Doc. Have a nice weekend po.
Okay,
Ito
bye-bye.
po.
Bye-bye, Doc.
Thank you po.
Salamat po, Doktor.
You're welcome.